All right. All right. All right. All right. What's going on, guys? Helaman, what's up, dog? See if we
Hey,
can
how's it
kind of
going?
fix this a little bit. Good, man. Good, good, good.
Good.
Candace, good to see ya.
Hey, good to see you.
What up, man?
Living the dream. Good to see all these faces and names I know here. This is awesome. Hey,
This is
Daniela.
exciting.
Hey, Candace, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Danielle, I love your shirt. You're definitely not in Alaska.
Oh,
I had mine on like that earlier and I had to put a coat on. I was like, no, it's chilly today. Chilly today.
heating up out here and that's an understatement for all that.
Is that right?
Hi, Jacqueline.
Where is there's
Hello.
There she is.
Precious baby. Aw.
She is so precious. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we have all the dollies with us today. So
Oh,
we're,
good.
we're ready.
amazing. I love that. Who is that? What's her name?
Faith.
Jesse, I love the down
Faith?
coat.
Huh?
Oh, I love
This
that.
child.
Beautiful.
This one's Faith.
Beautiful. All right. So here's what I might have to do, because I know Pace runs into the same issue where you let people come off mute and then they end up ordering Filibertos and making seller calls and everything. So I'm going to mute everybody and I'm going to have to unmute you guys. Mute all. Let's see. Is Chris James in here yet? Have you guys heard from Stu, by the way? Is he okay? Is everything good?
Yeah, he's fine. He's still trying to figure it out, but I think he's got it covered.
Oh, good. Good. He didn't have to put on like a rubber ducky or anything and get a snorkel and some fins or anything. It wasn't too terrible.
I think he's good.
Good. Good. Yeah, I literally just saw that and I was like, oh my gosh. My heart sank a little bit for him.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting for people to come in here, we'll probably give it a few minutes, guys, because you always have individuals that like to come in late. They kind of trickle in. If you guys, I would love to hear, let's kind of kick this off while we're waiting for everybody to kind of jump in here. If anybody has like any wins, I would love to hear how everything is going. Let's kind of kick it off with some positive momentum. If anybody has any wins, like throw your hand up, raise your hand. I'd love to hear how the Monday is going for you guys. What's going good? What's going bad? Just got EMD and title. Carlin, hell yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
Freaking love that. Her and her husband, James, are amazing people. I love those guys. Yeah, they're killing it. Kevin, you woke up today? Dude, that's a win, bro. Every day above ground, man, is a W. Thanks for being here, by the way, Kevin. It's good to see you, buddy. Well, at least hear from you. Working on my first 2 flips. Hopefully both will be on the market in about 2 weeks. Mark, congrats, bro. That's awesome, man. Mark, what market are those flips in? By the way, is anybody interested in potentially buying a sub 2 in Alaska? Let me know. We've got kind of a dope ass property. It's like 1,900 square feet that we're looking to assign. So if anybody's interested, let me know. Madison, you want one? I see you're in Georgia. Well, if you want to come and stay in an igloo for a little bit, I'll be happy to show you around. Mike, you're interested? Oh, dude, it's so good. Dude, it was Mike and his wife think it was Jamie's birthday was on Saturday. Hope you guys had an awesome day, by the way, Mike. You and your wife are like really close in birthdays. Like, wasn't yours like a week prior or something like that? Funny how that worked out. Carlin says, beautiful is only subjective if you've never fallen in love with New Mexico. Dude, I am freaking done with New Mexico. It's funny. Carlin is living in a part of New Mexico called Alamogordo. I used to live there when it was my first duty station when I joined the Air Force back in 2009. And it was this place right outside Holloman Air Force Base. It's right outside where they tested the A-bomb. They did a lot of nuclear testing out at White Sands Missile Range during World War II. And they got this town right outside of that base called Alamogordo. And at the time that I was there was like nothing there. Like IHOP was like the place to go. And we all kind of called it Alamogordo. So she's there now. But it's grown quite a bit since then. Now they got a B-dubs in town and you don't have to, at the time we had to drive all the freaking way to Las Cruces to go do anything. Oh, Chris James is here. Chris James. What up, dog? There he is. I gotta unmute you here, sir. I'm sorry.
Now I see how it feels when I tell my son he'll have access to stuff.
Dude, you know what's funny is like the more that we get deeper into our real estate business, Chris, and like we start getting to like more technology stuff, AI stuff, processes, systems, integrator type stuff. You know, like it's all way above my head. And even when we get on very surface level stuff, I feel like me asking a question about, hey, how does this work? How does this automation work? How does this trigger this? Or, you know, whatever. I feel like for a lot of people who know that stuff like the back of their hand, it's the equivalent of how I used to feel when my mom would be like, hey, Jesse, how do I send a picture in a text message? I'm like, Mom, I feel like that's how other people are looking at me now with like how advanced technology is getting. Like, Jesse, come on, man. Oh, dude, Stuart's here. Let me go find him. Oh, whoops. Where'd you go, Stu?
So I see Candace, I see Jacqueline's here. Hello, man. I know I saw you in here somewhere trying to find you.
Oh, I pinned everybody. Chris, who do you see on your screen?
All I literally see everyone.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Let's see.
Cool. What else you guys got going on? I'd love to see what else is everybody doing in the chat? Moving to Huntington Beach in California in August, Mark Heller. Where are you moving from? That's the question. I've never been to Huntington Beach, but I used to live in Phoenix, and we would take trips to San Diego. San Diego is dope AF. Shane says 3 days left on my W-2, bro.
Is that what Shane is that one?
Shane Evans, bro.
Nice.
Dude, congratulations, Shane. That is freaking awesome, man. I'm super pumped for you. This will be a great summer. Shane's gonna go make it rain. Shane just joined sub 2, actually. I think yesterday, right? Didn't you, Shane?
I could have swore I saw Stu.
Shane is like, oh, Stu's up here, bro. I thought you said you could see everybody. Click on.
There he is.
Everybody who's pinned. Can you guys all see everybody? You can't. Okay, in the top right hand corner where it says view, click that and click. I don't know if you click speaker or gallery. Shoot, I don't know.
We should be
On
all
my
set
end, I
now.
can see everybody. I can see all 7 of us. Click gallery. Freddie, what's up, Freddie? Quick story about Freddie real quick while we're waiting for, we'll probably give it like 3 or 4 more minutes for everybody to kind of jump in here. I know people kind of get in here and trickle in a little bit late, but super neat story. Chris and I get questions all the time. Like, how do I want to grow my network and I want to start networking with people that are doing more than me. And how do I do that? How do I, like, what does that process look like? I don't want to approach somebody and then just be me. Can I like buy you lunch and you give me an hour of your time and I just want to pick your brain? It's like one of the worst things that you could do to network with somebody. And this amazing gentleman named Freddie Frayer, Fredward, as we like to call him, he approached me, what was it? Maybe a couple months ago now. It was shortly after Chris and I started our Facebook page. And oh, you guys can't unmute. Thank you. There we go. Sorry, guys. Hold on. And Jacqueline. Can all you guys unmute or no? There you go. So Freddie hit me up. This is literally like the most perfect way to network and to lead value with to somebody. But Chris and I had just started our Facebook group up a few months ago now. And Freddie went and looked at it and he's like, oh, the brand new Facebook group. That's cool. I love what they're doing. I love the vibe. I love that. I see the direction and the vision this thing is going. I would love to be part of it. And so instead of just reaching out and saying, hey, Jesse and Chris, can I take up an hour of your time and like pick your brain? Of course, we would be more than happy, willing, and able to do that. But what was super neat was he went and found something that he could bring to the table. And so what he did, he went and created a Discord group to complement our Facebook group and went and found like our logo and all that kind of stuff and did it. It looked absolutely fantastic. It was the coolest thing. And then he scheduled a phone call with us and said, hey, this is who I am. This is what I'm trying to do. I love what you guys are doing. I'd love to be part of it. I want you guys to know I created you guys a Discord and this is what it looks like. And I would love to, I can help run that Discord. And anyway, just, oh my gosh, like talk about the ultimate freaking go-giver. And it was such a neat story and a staple in my life. And it was just like, oh my gosh, this is literally like to the T how you do it. This is how you network. This is how you go and lead with value. And it's super cool because Freddie is somebody, he doesn't know anything about real estate. He knows absolutely zip. As a matter of fact, I don't even think he knew who like Pace or anybody was. So it was super neat. He just kind of went in there and he's got kind of a tech background and just took what he knew and was like, man, I would love to just lead with value and build a relationship with these people. So I would love you guys to kind of do the same throughout the next hour or so that we're in here together. Make sure you guys get in the comments, be intentional with your time here. Don't just don't pull your camera off and put yourself on mute and just consume content more or less. I would love everybody into that's the entire point. I guess just to kind of preface with this, that's the entire point of this watermelon challenge is to get in here and to network and to be intentional and to say, hey, this is who I am. I'm looking for X, Y, and Z, or I would love to meet with 5 other people or 10 other people from this meeting and line up a time that we can talk over the next week or so. And let's get super intentional and figure out, hey, what do you do? What do you do? How can we work together? Because that's really what this challenge is all about, is coming together and leveraging our network. And we're going to kind of get more into that as we go along. Anyway, Freddie, I love you, bro. Thank you for being here. And thank you for setting the standard on how to build relationships and how to lead with value. And it just goes to show like, you don't have to know it all. You don't have to know anything about real estate, to start, leading with value and to build relationships with people. So dude, you're awesome. Thank you for setting that standard. Yeah, I know. Actually, Hold on, Freddie. Where are you at, Freddie? I'll let you come off mute for a second. There you go, buddy.
Oh, hello. How's
Where-
it going, everybody?
Hey, Freddie.
Great day. It's a freaking great day. I want to meet with every single one of you in this challenge at some point over the next few months. That is the plan. That is the goal. Jesse, you're so amazing. Thank you so much for the shout out. I didn't deserve that. I appreciate you so much, brother. So
Dude,
much.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. I love you. Thank you for being here.
I love you too, guy.
I got to mute you so you're not ordering Filibertos during our meeting.
Freddie popped his Calendly in the chat, so you guys can set up a meeting with him right off the bat. So thanks for doing that. Nancy's putting her information in there. If people have gone to that squad up sheet, or if you haven't gone to it, you can connect with everybody from there. Everybody's sharing their information, what their avatars are. I'm gonna put that link in the chat as well. So it's in there. You can go to that form and fill that out to get added to that sheet that's in the Facebook. And Jesse's like, yes, it works. So if you guys are wondering how to get onto that Facebook squad up sheet, that's how you do it. Click that form, go fill it out. Takes 2 seconds, and then you guys can start sharing that information and making that work. So thank you all for being here, and those who've gone in there and added. I know there are some here that I'm not recognizing, so go over there and make it known so you guys can squad up and help each other out.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you for putting that together. First and foremost, Candace. Candace has been a huge part of creating that foundation for this challenge and allowing you guys to get in here together so we can all kind of communicate and move deals forward together. Super excited. Yeah, I'm sorry. Whoops. Sorry about that, Stu. I'm here. I'm going to unmute all of you. I think if you guys click mute, then it won't let you come off mute again. So you might have to
found out the hard way.
stay off mute. Yeah, there's no other way. At least I don't, to keep everybody on mute and to keep you guys off mute.
You could order pizza for us. It'd be fine. We don't have to.
I love it. Stu. Hey, is everything okay, bro?
We're getting there, buddy. We're getting there. Thanks for asking. We have a little bit of water, but we're moving along. The wife is taking care of it, so I was able to get on the Zoom with everybody.
Yay, Stu's wife.
Shout out to my wife.
Wow.
Put her in the right direction. She's like, all right. I'm like, listen, you need to get home. She's like, now we go. We're just waiting for the guy to come, so we're good to go. So for those of my friends here that are tired of hearing from me, guess what? You still got to hear from me tonight.
Awesome, guys.
Yeah.
Well, let's kind of kick this off. I love the comments going, guys. Please keep that going. I can't tell you how many people we've all talked to, and I know Chris and I specifically, where people are like, man, I don't have the momentum that I'm looking for in my business. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to close deals. I don't know how to pitch creative. I don't know where to get my next deal from. I don't know how to do the paperwork. I don't know where I'm going to find buyers. I don't know. But then we have so many people that hop into Zooms and they just put themselves on mute. Now you guys aren't going to be able to come off mute unless maybe you guys raise a hand or something like that. But then they turn the camera off and they're on autopilot. They're just non-existent. That's not what we want you guys to be doing at all. So I love that the chat is blowing up. Please share your guys' Calendly. If you guys don't have a Calendly, create a Calendly right now. Create a Calendly account. Make it something that you guys can stay consistent with. And the faster you guys can grow your guys' relationships, I mean, you will start to see your business grow in so many different ways that you never thought possible. If you create a Calendly account and you have just different Zooms and things going on throughout the week, you have all these different podcasts. Pace has a podcast. There's so many different other sub-2 students as well that have podcasts. And most of the time, people just jump in there and put themselves on mute and jump in the car. It's just kind of on in the background. So we don't want it to be the equivalent. I do that. I don't know if you guys like The Office or Seinfeld. I'm a huge Seinfeld fan. And it's one of those things that's always on in the background. And so that's what we don't want with these. We want you guys to get in here and get super, super intentional. And I promise you, if you guys can get in here and you guys are intentional with the things that you want, you are clear on what you want coming out of not only this Zoom, but this challenge as well. And we're going to get a little bit deeper into the weeds of what you can expect with this challenge, how you can grow your business, and how we can all make money together. That's the entire point of this. So again, I'm going to hammer down on this probably a couple times throughout the rest of the evening and throughout the rest of this challenge. Squad up, squad up, squad up.
Angela's here. I didn't see you before. Hey, girl.
Oh, thank you. Well, I mean, I wasn't answering for Angela, but
Oh.
Angela, thank you.
Hey, hey.
Where's Angela at? Chris, did you get Angela?
We're Penn. I think you're on the wrong screen on your end.
I see Candace, Helaman, you, Jacqueline, Daniela, and Stu.
Click your speaker view.
Yep, I'm on speaker view.
Yeah,
Do you guys see Angela?
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm right
Yeah.
here.
Oh, what the hell? Okay. I suck, man. I have no idea who's on the
Start
screen.
flagging
Then.
you down, like.
Oh, there we go. I can see Angela.
Hey,
Awesome. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So let's kind of kick this off a little bit. I guess let's kind of introduce. I think everybody in here is obviously probably either trying to wholesale. They are wholesaling. Maybe some of you guys are sub 2. Maybe a lot of you guys are sub 2. So we're in this kind of this realm of wholesaling and creative finance. Now, as investors, we already know that the good thing about creative finance, and let me just preface this for anybody who doesn't know, creative finance is awesome because it's a tool that we can use. It's a tool that's on our tool belt that we can use to help solve problems when things don't work. Now, a good strategy when you're approaching either direct to seller or direct to agent is you typically always want to go with a cash offer first, even if you want to buy it creative. So if somebody is selling a property for $100,000 without even knowing anything about the property and just the fact that wholesaling is at a deep discount and with the market decline the way that it's going, we can automatically assume that we probably want to be somewhere around that 50 to 60, 65 cents on the dollar range. So without even knowing anything about the property, somebody's selling a property, the ARV is 100,000. We know that we need to be somewhere in that $50 to $60,000 range for an offer. Now, this is great. Wholesaling is a terrific strategy for making a lot of money. But when wholesaling doesn't work, then we pull out our tool belt. We open up the conversation a little bit with either the seller or the agent. And we say, okay, cool. So you can't accept this deep of a discount. So let's see how we can solve these problems. And that's where we kind of start tilting and going towards more creative options, right? We start saying, okay, and we start pulling out different levers. Oh, so you have no equity or your mortgage is this, or maybe you just want a higher price. Awesome. Let's see how we can go about structuring this to create a win-win solution. So another tool on your tool belt, there's a sequence of events that happens. Now, when wholesaling doesn't work and when creative financing doesn't work, typically we would just call those individuals, we just label them as non-motivated sellers. And we'd put them on our follow-up. We'd probably follow up with them weekly or bi-weekly or monthly or quarterly or whatever that looks like, I guess, depending on the circumstances of that seller. But what if there was another way? What if there was still another way to say, all right, I understand you won't accept an offer at a 50% discount. I also understand the fact that you want your price and you don't necessarily want to wait 30 freaking years for your money. That's the entire point of this challenge, to bring another resource to the table, to bring another conversation to the table. So that's why we put together the watermelon challenge as another tool in our arsenal to help our community members continue to succeed. Now, is there anything else before I move on? I just kind of wanted to preface with that. I think everybody kind of has a good idea on what wholesaling is. When wholesaling doesn't work, we switch into creative finance mode. When creative finance doesn't work, instead of labeling them and just throwing those leads away, we can say, hey, you know what? Let's see what we can do to move on this. Now, before I move on, team, is there anything else that I'm missing or anything else that you guys would like to add or preface this challenge with?
So I kind of want to see in the comments more so who has an understanding of what the challenge is. If you don't, it's okay. We just need to make sure specifically, you know, if you need a little bit more clarification, we're here to provide that. And don't be afraid, you know, this is a safe zone. There's only about 2 of us here. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I don't understand. I need more clarification. Allison Dawson says, kind of. Lisa says, I understand. Challenge, bring another resource to the table. Luke, I'm just here to watch. Oh, Brandon said, bringing everyone together to do deals together and as a collective, get things done and not as an individual. 100%. 100%. Okay, so the majority, it looks like everybody's like, I would love a little more clarity. I would love a little more clarity. So I guess, Chris, team, do you guys have anything else that I may have missed or anything else that may be good context before we move forward?
I have one thing. How is this different? I'm playing devil's advocate. How is this different from the elephant challenge?
Great question. Amazing question.
Thank you.
So the elephant challenge is something that Pace put together, and it kind of focuses on a handful of different things every single month. So there's going to be some similarities as to, we're going to take this one strategy. So what we're doing right now, what the watermelon challenge is in just another strategy. It's another tool on our tool belt. That's what this is. The elephant challenge was something that was kind of designed to get people who don't really know anything about real estate, to give them an opportunity to connect with other sub-2 students to either get their feet wet with wholesaling and or creative finance. And through doing that, Pace would have different focuses every single month. And by focuses, what I mean is he would have like pre-foreclosures, or he would talk about door knocking, or he would talk about multifamily. So every month was kind of a different theme, but it really gave everybody an opportunity who just didn't know anything about real estate, a chance to kind of come together as a collective and work on just these different aspects of their business. And so I think that's kind of where there's some difference. I think the elephant challenge is more of kind of a general challenge, and each month there was a different theme to that challenge. With this watermelon challenge, it purely needs to be seen as another investment strategy. It needs to be seen as just like creative finance, as just another strategy. And within that strategy, each month we're also going to focus on, we're going to have different themes. So that's where it's going to be similar to the elephant challenge, is every month there will be different themes that we will focus on, and different ways that we'll be able to use this strategy for buying and selling real estate.
You got some amazing questions in the comments.
Yep, I know everybody needs more clarity. We got it. We're definitely going to give you guys some more clarity. What we're doing right now is just setting the foundation. And I just want you guys to understand that what this challenge is just another tool. It's not something general like the elephant challenge where we're going to focus on this and then this and then this and then this. It's something that's very specific and it's very niche.
Jesse, can I add to that?
Yes, please.
So in totality, what this is, how this is different also, is that we are a one-stop shop. Would everybody agree with that?
Absolutely.
100%.
Right. And this is no slight against the elephant challenge. Right? The elephant challenge is for making people take action. We want you to take action. So the elephant challenge was a precursor, right? Hey, let's get people using different types of resources that are out there, like Privy, like, different lists that you can pull and so forth. This is a one-stop shop so that if you're doing those things, now we're going to give you a list of things that you need to go through to kind of help figure out how to submit deals. But then from there, as we go through tonight's Zoom, we're going to show you what we offer you and how you can complete those deals without having to figure out who to go to next to get this thing across the finish line. Is that a way that we can say it?
Oh my gosh. I think you
Absolutely.
hit the nail on the head, because oftentimes, not only in the elephant challenge, but just in general, you have a lot of people that they hear that, hey, I've got to go skip trace the list, for example, and then I've got to go cold call it. Well, I don't know what to say.
Mhm.
And for a lot of people, because they don't feel like they know what to say, that keeps them from taking action. And so they got to spend another week, another month, another months, maybe even for some people, a year, could be even more, of getting up the courage to say, hey, I don't know what to say, but now I'm going to go now I'm going to go do it. And now that they go do it, they're like, man, I don't know. Is this a creative deal? Is this a cash deal? How do I underwrite it? How do I do X, Y, and Z? And I like Stuart said, in that type of situation, you have people that are like, man, I don't know who can I call? Who can I work with? Who can I call to underwrite this? Who can I call to come in and fund the EMD? Who can I call to pitch creative or get this seller and or agent on the phone and explain what subject to is or what seller finance is? And so I love that you said that, Stu, because this is a one-stop shop. This isn't going to be one of those things where we're going to give you guys a challenge or information and then just say go. That's the complete opposite, which is something else I want to jump into. I saw this comment in here. I think it was from Michelle. I'm trying to find it. Michelle, I'm gonna have to find that comment, but I'm pretty sure I read. Oh, there it is. Michelle Sidney. Yeah, she said, "How did you guys come up with the name?" Amazing question. So, you guys, there's a saying: "It's better to share a watermelon than to eat your own grape." That's where this name came from, because for a lot of people, they go try and do things themselves. They're trying to do everything themselves. They got to be the one to skip trace the list, and they got to be the one to upload it to a dialer, and then they got to be the one to dial it, and then they got to be the one to negotiate it, and then they got to be the one to open title, and they got to be the one to go find a buyer, and all these other kind of things. If somebody sticks with that pattern of doing it by themselves, I mean, it could take them 90 days potentially before they get their first forced, I guess you could call it a deal, and then they open up escrow, and then they got to go find another 30. It takes them another 30 days to go find a buyer. And then it might take another 30 days to close it. So before you know it, for that individual who's doing everything themselves, it could take 3, 4, 5 months, even more. It could take years before somebody finally does their first deal. And in that scenario, somebody could close their first deal 5 months later. And then guess what? Because they had to do everything themselves, because they had to go be the one to contact the title company, send all the emails, go find the buyer. That was their focus. And so what happened with all their lead gen? It was gone. Now they get a wholesale check and they've got to restart again from square one. So this challenge is it creates a ruse for people. It forces people into a position to really learn how to network and how to leverage relationships. And in doing that, it's going to teach you how to drastically scale your business by leveraging those relationships and building a community and being intentional. That's actually how all of us on here, that's actually how this challenge came about. Telling you guys to go get a Calendly account and to be intentional with networking with people in here. That's exactly what Chris and I did. And we had the pleasure of meeting with everybody on here. And we got to hear about their business, their strategies, what they have going on. And then where Chris and I came in, we're like, man, this is so dope. This is what we have going on. And this is where we could all come into alignment. Maybe we could join forces and put something together that really helps everybody elevate and skyrocket their business in a huge way. And we'll call it the Watermelon Challenge. So literally it's neat because we're a practitioner of this. This isn't like something that we all kind of read about and was like, hey, theoretically, this sounds good. Let's go and do this. Like you guys get to see it in front of your eyes. We're practitioners of this. You guys are seeing it happen live. So that's where this whole thing came about. Stu or Jacqueline, Candace, Helaman, Daniela. Oh, let me unmute you. There you go.
I think Danielle is on mute.
Sorry about that. We had some people from our office leaving. Yeah, and just want to touch upon what Jesse was saying, for me and my partners, we literally self-funded everything for like 5 to 6 years. I mean, it was, we didn't know the tools that we're going to share with you guys in this challenge. And it took us years to really get the courage to even speak about what we were doing and talk about our struggles. And I think that, that can create like analysis paralysis, right? When we're doing all the things ourselves, we're self-funding our own projects and we have an enormous overhead. So by, I think, utilizing this challenge and, us over here as leaders, it's really going to supercharge your business. And I also think one other thing I want to say, Jesse, is it's okay to not, like everybody wants to get going, right? And that's like in our nature as real estate investors, but there's like levels to this, right? So I think it's just about kind of being present for this Zoom and maybe the next one and allowing us to like lean on us, right? It's not going to happen overnight, but we've got your back.
I love that. Thank you, Danielle. I appreciate that. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, for anybody else, you guys might be wondering, okay, guys, what's the catch? What's the catch? The catch is this. The only way that you lose, the only way that you don't get any traction or momentum in your business through this challenge is if you're simply not doing anything. That's it. Would you guys agree with that?
Yes.
Agreed.
For sure.
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Stu, do you kind of want to kick this off, man? We'll kind of get a little bit deeper into the weeds.
Sure. So what we're gonna do is nothing like put me on the spot too, Jesse. Appreciate that. It's awesome.
Say that again.
I said nothing like putting me on the spot because he knows I like to talk, but usually there's a little bit of a leeway. How do you want me to start this? Do you want to start with what? Do you want me to go through kind of what the challenge is going to look like, and then we'll go through the actual steps and what we're looking for what a deal looks like?
For sure. Well, I guess we can, for everybody who didn't know for everybody who didn't see our podcast where we had originally talked about this on May 20th, everybody kind of went through and introduced themselves. I'm not going to make everybody do that tonight. If you guys would like, you guys can hit me or Chris up or anybody in here. We can send you that link and you kind of get to know us more a little bit. And see how we kind of introduce the challenge. But really, there's 3 different teams that kind of came together. Yep. And we all bring something different to the table. So Chris and I, we do a bunch of different kinds of loans. So we actually have a loan officer that works with us who's licensed in 45 states. And we do DSCR loans. We do construction loans. We do fix and flip loans. We do bridge loans. We do all these kinds of different things. And Stu's group, they are very active with funding and Gator funding and EMD funding, and they do a lot of different things with regard to raising capital and money, which is obviously a pretty big undertaking, as you guys can imagine. And then Jake, we missed Jake. Have you guys heard from Jake? Is he?
He's still traveling the world.
What?
He's still traveling the world.
Him and Kevin Cho, dude. Those guys crack me up, man. So if you guys don't know Jake, we got Jake's team as well. And they are credit partners. So basically we've kind of came together when wholesaling doesn't work, when creative financing doesn't work. Guys, guess what? That's where we come in and you guys say, hey, you know what? I would love to buy this house, either partner with you guys or see what we can do to where I bring this to you guys and we either partner on it or we do something where we can wholesale it and where we all make money. And so we have collectively come together. If you have somebody who just is a non-motivated seller, wholesaling doesn't work and creative financing doesn't work, bring it to the challenge. And guess what? We'll go take a loan out on it and we'll go use our own credit and our own money. So now we have another tool on our tool belt where it really doesn't matter if the seller's unmotivated or not. As long as the property appraises, let's go. if you guys are having trouble getting, I get it. Like wholesaling is a grind, man. It's such a grind. Making all these phone calls, getting hung up, being told to F off, all these kinds of different things. Wholesaling is a grind, man. And I'll tell you what, it can make you a very resilient and patient person. I'll tell you something. But I get it. It's not for everybody. And that's okay. Because with this challenge, actually, technically, you wouldn't even have to find somebody who's not motivated necessarily in order to move forward on this challenge. Stuart, what are some other ways aside from cold calling people and they're like, oh, they're not interested in wholesale, or hey, creative doesn't work. Maybe we just take a loan out on this and buy this outright. What are some other ways that people could do to generate leads or to find properties they could either partner with us on or wholesale?
Easy. Go right on Privy. Go right out there and look at the MLS and look at some properties that have been out on the MLS. Look at those properties that have been on there a little longer, 50, 60 days or more, because those people maybe have a little more motivation. But if there's a property that you like in an area that you are familiar with and that property has been listed for just a couple of days, as long as the numbers make sense, go out there and do it. Go use Zillow, right? Go use whatever online thing you want to use. We're gonna have Benson on, and he's gonna go through Privy and show people that don't know how to use Privy how to use that. My team uses it on a regular basis. We love it. Again, we're not here to pimp anything for you, but if it's another tool that you're looking for, that's certainly worth your while to kind of get invested in with it. But again, you can use Zillow. I've talked to a lot of investors that are using the free sites that can give you deals. Again, I can't stress enough that as long as you know what we're looking for, which we'll get into in a few, you can make a deal happen. And again, my team just funded EMD on Friday. Chris Williams, if he's on this Zoom, I know that he's getting I think he's getting an inspection tomorrow, right? Morgan and Jacqueline, I think he's got an inspection set up for tomorrow for his property. And so he brought the deal. Jake's team underwrote it. Everything looked good. Like, Stu, this is good to go. My team double checked everything. I set the money in last Thursday or Friday, and we're waiting to hear back and figure out what's going on. We have another deal or two deals in the pipeline as well. As soon as our form was up by Candace, people started throwing those deals in there and giving us some information, which is great. So again, we're trying to just make it as easy as possible for you to have access to stuff. We're not going to go find deals for you, right? That's your job. You're going to be the bird dogs essentially. But if you go look at the different places to find deals, we're going to go ahead and help you get across the finish line.
Well said. Anybody else want to add anything to that? Hillman, Jacqueline, Daniela, Candace, we missing anything? Angela?
So the form not yet on Facebook. We've been holding off just so everybody understood what we were doing before we pulled that trigger. So it's ready to go, and you guys can go there and find out all the hurdles that you need to go through to fill in those blanks and submit that deal. So you guys tell me when and it'll go live.
Amazing. Amazing. So, oh, sorry, go ahead, brother.
No, I was just gonna say, I'm telling her when.
He said when.
Then? All right. If the ones that pay attention, they'll be like, yeah, I'm going on mute right now.
No, yeah. No, what I like to do is, there's a bunch of questions, are asking about, hey, can you give us more what the numbers are? Yeah, we're going to give you that tonight. And so, Candace, is it available for us to pull up and share with people, not make it active, but can we show them what we're looking for and what a deal looks like? Not right now, but when we're ready. Just kind of giving you a heads up on that.
Sure, we can. I can share my very messy desktop here and let y'all see what the form looks like. Sure. Yeah. So when we're ready, I think we'll just pull the form up and just go through it line by line for people. That it's going to be very easy for them to follow, and we don't have to worry about them trying to feverishly write down notes as we're talking through, what our numbers look like and what everything we're expecting. Sounds good. We will once we're ready to go, we'll share the link then on Facebook. We'll share it in the chat. And we'll make it available everywhere we possibly can, so you guys can submit your deals. Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah, Elizabeth, I see your questions. How long is the challenge for? What we're going to do? We're going to go through all that. We're going to give you the whole outline for it.
Awesome. So I just want to hammer on real quick what Stu said. I just want to make sure it's absolutely clear that you guys have a very thorough understanding of what you can do to either buy properties with us or wholesale them or whatever that looks like for you guys. Ultimately, these are your guys' deals. But like Stu said, you don't have to. Chris Williams, I think that was the one that we were talking about. I think we've had a couple of them that were submitted since then. But dude, what's neat about this challenge, guys, is it doesn't require you to go into PropStream or go into Batch Leads or go look at county records or do anything to find motivated sellers. Hell, you don't have to skip trace. You don't have to cold call. You don't have to SMS. You guys don't have to do nothing. As a matter of fact, I see a couple of you guys asking like, what is your avatar? What is your avatar? And I see a couple people posting what their avatars are in here, which I think is super dope. One of the things that I think is going to really help expedite your momentum for those who decide to participate in this challenge is focus on one thing. I love that there are people in there talking about what your avatars are, because I think that's the thing that keeps people so scatterbrained and just on this hamster wheel of, you'll have to excuse my French. I think Pace used the term mental masturbation, but basically the thought process of staying busy all the time. I mean, how many people in here, let me see in the comments, how many people in here have just been so stinking busy all day long? And by the time it's time for bed, Stu raises his hand. By the time it's time for bed, you lay your head down on your pillow, you're looking up at the ceiling and you're like, gosh, dang, I got nothing done today, but I was busy as hell. That's why. So we want to throw out a couple different ideas or scenarios that might help alleviate a lot of that hamster wheel. I'm busy, but I'm not getting any traction. And that's why the Avatar series is so powerful, guys, because if you guys can start arranging your day and time blocking your day to where you are, for those of you guys who have families, those of you guys who have W-2s, I get it. My wife is a nurse. She works nights. I've got 4 kids. I'm 4 hours behind anybody on Eastern time. I mean, I'm at like the all-time, handicap here is in terms of having a balanced life, I think. But focusing on your avatar will give you just such clear direction on what it is that you need to be doing. And everything else, that's where you can leverage us. You can leverage us. You can leverage our credibility. And you could literally go from not having done a deal or not owning any properties to owning 10 properties over the course of this challenge, depending on how active and intentional you are. Sorry, Candace, go ahead.
Just jumped in. So I just plugged the link to the doc that has the list. We just broke 100 of the people on the squad up list. So it's I just put it into the chat so you can see who the people are here that are have given their information. They have 2 avatars that are listed. It's a really great resource. We have it in the Facebook. So just know that it's there, and contact information is there as well. So it's good stuff.
Awesome. You guys check that out. I don't know. I don't do Zoom very well. I don't know if you can, you can't really pin comments, can you? You can pin comments.
You can save the
yes.
chat as well.
So
They can just save the chat. They can always go back and look at it if anything.
Danielle is
Yeah.
shaking her head.
I think that I think the best thing would be to like copy that link and bookmark it.
We'll have
to your-
Candace, if you don't mind, like
Yeah.
throwing that link in just intermittently. That would be super dope.
Sure. And don't forget, if you guys are not on the Facebook group, make sure you join the Facebook group, because all this information is going to be there as well.
Yes, follow the Facebook group. That's really the only way you're going to be making sure that you're getting all the information and all the updates. But guys, with regards to Avatar, before we kind of shift gears for a second, one of the big things, like Stu said, I want to hammer down on that real quick. One of the key things that he said was, as long as the numbers make sense, they have to make sense, guys. They have to make sense. We can't go buy a property that we can't do anything with. That makes no sense. That wastes your time. That wastes our time. So throughout the next few weeks with this challenge, some of the things that we're going to be showing you guys is how to comp, how to underwrite. And Jacqueline's going to be a major player with leading that. So we're going to show you guys how to do some of these things so you guys have a full understanding of what it is we're looking for, so we can streamline that process between the both of us. But really, I mean, if you guys are already direct to agent, if that's your avatar, if you guys are really good at underwriting, that's obviously going to help. And you know what? If you're not, that's perfectly fine too. Because you know what? What's neat about this entire challenge is you don't have to, if underwriting is not your thing, underwriting is not my thing, guys. I hate numbers. I don't want to look at Excel documents. That's not my thing. I hate it. It's my Achilles heel. I'm terrible at it.
That's
So
'cause
I
you're
know.
a visionary.
Say that again.
That's because you're a visionary.
That's what it is. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. Look,
That's
I'm
why
terrible
it's
at
important to know your avatar so you can know what you're good at, what you're not good at, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And you go find it. It's simple. It's as simple as just going and finding those people.
Right.
If you guys know that you're not good at underwriting, like I know that I'm not good at underwriting, I would probably get into the chat and I would say, hey guys, I suck at underwriting, looking for somebody I can partner with who's really good at underwriting. And then guess what? I'd partner with that individual and I'd say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go call some agents, or I'm going to block out an hour of my day every day to go hit up Zillow. And I'm going to make it my goal for us to be able to find, put 5 offers in every single day. And I'm going to send you these 5 deals or whatever, so you can underwrite them, get them back to me, and I will go ahead and submit those as long as those numbers make sense. So really, like Daniela was saying, understanding what your avatar is really going to help you guys streamline this process, especially if you're busy. I totally get it. You got families, you got kids, you got things going on after work. I get it. With whatever time that you have that is limited, maybe you have an hour or 2 a day. Maybe that's it. So understanding your avatar, you can direct all of your focus into that one thing and go find somebody else in this challenge that you can partner with. Sorry, Stu and Jacqueline. So you guys got your hand up.
Thanks. Go ahead, Jacqueline,
Absolutely.
lady first. Oh, you're still muted, I think.
Oh, my mute
There you
button
go.
did. I wasn't sure. I had a crying kid, so I had to mute. I just wanted to say that by the end of this challenge, our goal is going to be able to get you all to be able to underwrite a property in 2 minutes by using just a traditional financing rate. You can pretty quickly determine whether or not a property is going to cash flow with 2 minutes of work. So if you all don't get anything out of this challenge other than that, that's great.
I will make all the Google forms on the planet if you will teach me how to do that in 2 minutes, because to me, that's magic. Okay. And you are a rock star. So I'm excited to learn that piece all day long.
Yeah, can I attend that training?
What?
Jesse and I are like your first signups for that one. I'm telling you.
I have to say, with current interest rates the way that they are, it just makes it really easy right now, because the payment comes out to be so much in most cases that you'll be able to look at it and say like, okay, I can rent this or I can't. So that's kind of a little cheat sheet there.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Love
I
it.
think
Thank
that's a
you.
great point. And I think to Jesse's point too, real quick, as we get further into the weeds here with this challenge specifically, he talked about, knowing your avatars, Daniela said, and finding the people that are opposite of you and kind of that complete you, if you will. Well, that's how I met Danielle and Helaman. I knew what I was good at and I knew what I sucked at. And I needed to find somebody who else was good at the things that I sucked at. And Danielle and Helaman are absolutely fantastic at those things. And then on top of that, I get to meet everyone on Jake's team and on your team, Chris and Jesse. And it's like, man, going back to why we're here, sharing that watermelon and not eating that grape, and as successful as Daniela has been and is going to be in her business, to her point, to be able to say to you, hey, I've done this all the hard way for the last X number of years and I've been successful. She'll never tell you she's successful, but I'm going to tell you she is. To be as successful as she is and to do it as hard way as she did, and to be like, man, now this is going to be so much easier. It can be that easy once you get out of your own way and really make sure you connect with other people. I can't stress it enough. I tried to do this all on my own the last couple months, or the first couple months. And in meeting Daniela and Helaman over 9 months ago, the leaps and bounds that we've made in that short period of time is uncanny. And now to put that with all the people on this group, we have 11 people that we've been working feverishly over the last few weeks together. And it's awesome what we've accomplished just in this short period of time. And shout out to Candace and Daniela for keeping all of us visionaries on track, because if not, we would be an absolute shit show right now, more so than what we already are.
I think Candace is the master integrator.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. So that's all I needed to say that, because I don't know that I thank them enough and you guys enough, because it's really awesome. So let's get into it. Enough of that mushy stuff. Let's move on.
Strength in numbers, stronger together.
Hashtag stronger together. That's our motto.
There we go.
Together.
Love it, guys. Does everybody have a full understanding of what this challenge is and what the intent is behind it? And if you don't, please throw it in the chat or raise your hand. Like I said, we got more into the weeds that we're going to get into. We're going to explain more, guys. But up to this point, I just want to make sure that everybody has a very thorough understanding on what you can do and how you can be successful and where you can focus your time to get the most out of this challenge. I got 4 yeses and 82 people in here.
Awesome.
There we go. Okay, cool. If you guys don't, that's okay. I can go back and reiterate, because this is going to be, this is recorded and people are going to watch this afterwards. So I just want to make sure that there are no questions and everybody has a very thorough understanding of how you can be successful, how you can grow your business and expedite that traction drastically. Okay, cool. All right. Ladies and gents, where should we pivot from here? Should we have Candace kind of share her screen a little bit and get more into where people can squat up and how they can submit their deals and kind of some of the things we'll be looking for?
Yep.
Yeah, I
And then
think
after that, we can go through the actual weeks of the challenge and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Candace, it's your show.
Hey. All right. So this is our handy dandy form here. Let's get this out of the way.
So where can everybody find this? Just to reiterate one more time.
We're going to put it in the chat. It'll be a link where they can go back and reuse this link to submit their deals.
Mhm.
And we're going to keep it right there on the Facebook page. We're going to pin it at the top and they'll be able to find it.
Beautiful.
All right. So this is the first part. This is the boring part. However, I did reuse Helaman's really awesome graphics. So there you go. Shout out to that. Because I didn't do it.
Actually, Daniela.
So then we've got the basics: email, full name, phone number. And then when you move over to that second piece, this is where it gets to be fun, that deal and property information. And so does anybody want to talk to that first block there? Every deal would be considered on a case-by-case basis, but here's some parameters around what constitutes a good deal to keep in mind. Minimum 200K purchase price, minimum 65K spread on a fix and flip, and minimum 15% cash on cash return. Anybody on the team want to address how we came up with that, why that makes sense, and how we're going to handle that moving forward?
Yeah, I can speak to the first one, and I want to give everybody kind of an opportunity to jump in here. So a minimum $200,000 purchase price, that's just from our lender. There's a minimum that we have as lenders for doing DSCR loans, and that's our minimum. So that's super easy to address right there. So if you guys are looking at properties in Ohio, probably not gonna make that $200,000 mark. You know what's crazy? I don't know if anybody else is marketing in Ohio in here. But even like during COVID over the last couple years, like when all these properties are skyrocketing over the last couple years, you could still go to Ohio and find properties for like 20 G's. Crazy. So yeah, Ohio is probably going to be a no-go unless you find something above 200,000. I see a couple people asking, what is the maximum? I think the maximum is probably going to be upwards of 2 mil.
2.8 to be exact.
2.8 mil. And it's going to be, we're doing residential right now, not commercial. So we've got 2.8 mil, 4 doors and below.
And Jesse, just to confirm with everybody why it's 4 doors, right? Anything over 4 doors is considered a commercial lend, right? 4 doors you can buy under your personal name. Anything over 4 doors, a quad, you have to get a commercial lending on it. So just people know why we pick 4, or why that 4 is a minimum, or excuse me, maximum, sorry. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you for touching on that. And you know, one more thing that I want to address that didn't get addressed before I move on, Candace, I'm sorry. If you guys want to hold these properties without us, that is perfectly acceptable as well. If you guys are going to go in and raise the private capital for it, and you would like to just utilize us to fund the EMD, do the DSCR loan, and we'll go ahead and do that. We'll utilize our own credit and our money to fund the EMD and get these loans out for you as well. So there's a lot of different ways that we can structure it. So I just wanted to put that out there. It's not something where you necessarily have to partner with us. If you're going to go in, you're going to raise the PML and all that kind of fun stuff moving forward.
I see people asking about commercial in the chat. Is that something that we're going to be getting into?
Yes, that
will be a later part of the challenge.
that is correct.
And so obviously the amounts will be different based on that product type, property type, than for single family to 4 units.
Absolutely. Yep. Thank you for clarifying that. So just right now, that's something we're going to remember how we talked about the elephant challenge has different themes. The watermelon challenge is also going to have different themes. And later down the road, we're going to start getting into more commercial stuff as well. But right now, anything that gets submitted that is commercial will not pass go.
So I want to kind of touch a little bit or expand on that, Jesse. I think part of that is because when you get into, commercial and larger multifamily residential, you're getting a little bit more complex in the type of deal. And so since this is really intended to be for people who, are trying to get their first deal or trying to make that transition from wholesale to being an end buyer, or just giving you another option and another way to buy real estate, we're going to take it in those bite-sized pieces to try and run out the gate and buy a, industrial property or buy a 30-unit multifamily property. You're probably going to get in over your head a little bit. So that's the reason that we have it structured like that. Just wanted to kind of put it out there for everybody that we're going to take this one step at a time here.
I love that. Yeah. Thank you for clarifying that. Hit it on the head beautifully.
That's a different seed. We're just
Well said there.
We're at seed one,
Yes,
people.
this is seed one. All right, cool. So basically everything else, guys, the 65,000 and the 15% cash on cash, being that it's a watermelon, there's got to be enough meat on the bone to make it worth everybody's time, I guess is what it comes down to. So anyway,
for the 15% cash on cash, somebody asked if this is on LTR, MTR, or STR, which that's the case mainly for this first seed, right? So we want to see that 15% cash on cash return on those.
awesome. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Is that a question, Helaman, or is that a statement?
And I was answering a question.
Gotcha. Just make sure we're all understanding.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything before we scroll?
Yeah, hold on one second. So thinking 65K, repeat that. So the spread, the $65,000 spread is basically what it means is how much the purchase price is, plus any rehabs that need to be done, minus what your ARV of that property is. It's got to be a $65,000 spread between your total costs and what you're going to be able to sell the property for because of the change of the market. And we want to make sure that everyone has enough meat on the bone who's helping out with this so that you are getting money out of it and everybody else who's helping you with is also getting money back as well. Does that clarify for everybody on that? So again, it goes back to what Jesse was talking about, making sure you buy right at that deeper discount. You want to stay again within that, 50%, 55% of the ARV or lower. That's where you want to be to purchase these properties. You're welcome.
Cool. Thank you.
You got it.
All right. So the basics: street address, city, state, zip of the property. We're going to want some property images. We didn't want to get into downloading all your property images right out the gate. So we're asking that you supply a link. Could be a link to Zillow, Privy, whatever. We need images of the property. We're going to ask you to list all the repairs that you believe are needed. And we want to know what that ARV is. Do you have an accepted offer on the property?
Candace, can you stop for 1 second? Can you go back? Because this is going to be, I know it's going to be a ton of questions, just
Yeah.
right there. Good. So where it
Okay.
says repairs, please list all repairs needed, right? I'm surprised nobody's come up with the question, well, how do I know repairs are needed? I've already seen a couple of people in the chat who are contractors who can help you with this as well. You can talk to the agent. If you're going to go online and get on-market deals, ask the agent, right? When you ask the agent to be a dual agent for you, hey, can you represent me as well as the seller? The agent's going to say, okay, I'm going to go back and I'm going to ask the seller to make sure it's okay with them. 9.9 times out of 10, they'll say, yes, they can do it. Then you ask that agent, hey, you're local, right? Great. Can you go take some video or pictures of that property for me to see what kind of repairs are? Exactly. Every house needs repairs. Or squat up with somebody in this group that lives locally and team up with them and ask them to go take some video or some pictures for you. And that's going to help you get some ideas of what projects or what repairs need to be done in that property. If you're buying it at that 55% ARV, you're going to have a lot of room to make those adjustments or those estimated costs for that. Hey, look, Ms. Davis says, I have a checklist for repairs. Good. Throw it in the chat and share it with people, right?
Love it.
It's easy to find that information out, especially in a local market. Talk to a couple of contractors. They'll tell you, ask them, hey, what is the average price per square foot for rehab? Give me the low end and the high end of that. I'll repeat that again. What is the average square foot price per square foot for rehab in this area? Ask multiple contractors. You want the low end and the high end. Anybody else need to add to that? Or can we move on?
One more thing to add is if you plan to actually buy and hold the property and you're keeping it as a long-term rental, midterm rental, short-term rental, we're probably going to want you to get an inspection done, because an inspection is going to catch anything that just looking at it might miss. Something with the HVAC system, something with the plumbing. And especially as a buy and hold investor now, you have to kind of think a little bit differently on long term. I want to make sure that I've checked all the boxes. And then that also allows you the opportunity to, oh, hey, there's a slab leak. Okay, I'm canceling the contract on this. This deal no longer makes sense.
Great point, Jacqueline. Listen, guys and girls, we're not putting lipstick on a pig, right? No lipstick on pigs. That's not how you should do your business. And honestly, if you're wholesaling like that, shame on you, number one. Number two, you want to keep this long-term, like Jacqueline said, you want to make sure you fix this stuff up right in the beginning, because if not, it's going to eat everything you have in your profits on a regular basis. Ask us how we know that answer to that question. Been there, done that. We're going through it, right? All right, thank you. Candace, go ahead. I don't interrupt you again. I'm sorry. Well, I probably will. But
Interrupt away. This is good stuff. They need to hear this. This is amazing. Okay.
everyone knows me. I'll interrupt. Go ahead.
All right. Hey, Pennsylvania, you got it. All right. So what is the ARV? Anybody want to comment on that one?
After repair value, did I get it right? I'm just kidding. Yeah. So again, the ARV, what's the market going to pay for this on a retail, right? What's a bank going to loan on this on? I'm crushing this, by the way. I'm crushing this form.
Action this.
Nice job, Stu.
We got
Yeah.
about 80% to go. Don't count your.
Dude, I studied for this final like a champ.
Rock star. Okay, so anybody have any questions about that? The ARV, how they're gonna figure it out?
And
All
guys,
right,
these are things we're going to show you guys how to do on top of underwriting and everything else over the course of the challenge. So I just want to add that in there if you guys don't know.
Do you have an accepted offer on the property? Do you have a contractor bid on the project?
Candace, what does it mean to have an accepted offer on the property?
I'm gonna let Jacqueline answer that one.
Jacqueline, help us out with this.
An accepted offer means that your offer has been accepted.
So which means what? You have a purchase agreement, right?
Yeah.
You have a purchase agreement. You have a signed purchase
PSA,
agreement,
A
right?
purchase and sales agreement, yes.
Exactly. You have a signed purchase and sales agreement, right? So again, has been accepted. It does, if it's verbal, it doesn't mean anything, right? It's got to be written in paper. That's what we're looking for. It's great you have a verbal. Now take it to the next step. You're welcome, Brandon, for that laughing. You're good.
Well, I can change what we have written here if we need to, if we need to
No,
be
I
clear.
think it's fine. I think it's just, we're just making sure we're crossing T's and dotting I's. That's all.
Now, Stu, real quick, are you does the property have to have an accepted offer, or are you just asking, does it have an accepted offer?
Good question.
We're asking, does it? Because if you don't have a purchase and sales agreement and you're submitting this to us, then we kind of know pretty quickly whether or not the deal is going to move forward. So it kind of comes down to urgency. If you're submitting us an offer, or if you're submitting us a deal that you have an accepted offer, we're going to prioritize that deal, because that means that your due diligence time period has started. And so we need to get that moving quickly. That's going to affect your loan. It's going to affect, how quickly Stu's team has to move on EMD. So we want to also be able to make sure that we're reading through that purchase and sales agreement. Do you have, how long is your due diligence period? Do you have a financing contingency in there? And it'll give us an idea of whether or not we need to maybe go back and say, hey, 5 days DD isn't going to work for this, or, you have a 15-day close window. That's not going to work for a loan. So it just gives us the opportunity to have those conversations up front.
We got a question real quick. Let me ask you to unmute. What's going on, brother?
Peace and blessings to everybody.
Thank you.
This is not a question. But I just want to say that from what I'm understanding so far, and before I say this, I hope there's nobody on here that's super religious. And if you are, I hope you can find the forgiveness in your heart to excuse me. But this is blowing my fucking mind right now, how amazing this is, what you guys are doing. I just wanted to put that out there. Like,
We appreciate that.
Thank
my
you very much.
heartbeat is skyrocketing right now, how excited I am about this.
So
I just wanted to put that.
what about what we're doing is really blowing your mind? Where have you been stuck?
Well, that's
Just-
a great question.
I think it's how accessible you guys are being. Because from my experience, like I'm not a major person yet. I'm on my way.
Like that.
But just from trying to get in contact with a lot of people that are doing amazing things, you guys are like right here. Granted, like I can't shake your hands right now and look you in the eyes, but it's like I can send you a message and I get a response, and you guys are here right now responding to our questions and everything like that. So I think that's amazing.
Well, listen, man, I appreciate that. I know we all do appreciate that. And I will say for me, again, it goes back to the community that has been built, right? And it's about sharing what we have and knowing that, hey, not everyone's going to have the opportunity to be able to get back to you on a regular basis. And I've had that same thing happen to me. That's going to happen. But, as we go through this together, we're finding out the more that we can really leverage each other and not forget about those struggles, right? Of being able to connect with people. And to be honest with you, the fact that I'm in this Zoom right now, I've told this many times for the group of people that I'm in, this other 11 people, the fact that I get to talk to Chris and Jesse and Jake and everybody else and all the time to name all their names and Candace and have that one-to-one connection has been a true blessing to me. And my goal is then to just pay it forward, right? And to pay it forward to somebody else. And again, we don't know how this is going to handle. We don't know how this is going to go the way we want it to go. But guess what? As Pace says, we're going to go mess shit up and then figure out how to fix it down the road. And then we're going to learn from it.
Right on. Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
We
Well, bro,
appreciate
thank
you.
you.
Thanks for coming tonight.
Thank
This
you.
is
Thank
cool.
you for the kind words. Well received. Yeah, appreciate you.
Thank you. So I see you have another question. Hands
Oh, we
up
do. Yep. Let me.
Before I move forward.
Yep. Maritza, how are you? Did I say that right, by the way?
You did. My name's Marixa. Hi guys, how are you?
Wonderful.
You.
I just really wanted to go off the gentleman that was just talking. Just because so I need for everyone to hear, just in case they're in the same situation or have been in the same situation as me. And me, I can say that I've been into different, like the elephant challenge. It was just like, to me, it was just like all over the place. And I'm like, okay, what do I do with that? There's just bits and pieces. And also, let me back up. I learned that I'm a unicorn agent. So I've been in real estate for 17 years in Central Florida. I've never stopped. I was in it when it was, regular and when it got crazy and then when it crashed and then I had to learn short sales and just real fun stuff. So the whole time I've always been here. And, this was introduced to me. I've done, a couple of wholesale deals, assignments and a couple of fix and flips, but I wanted to get into this creative financing. And then that's when I started searching for Pace's stuff. And I haven't done it. And I don't know. I'm like, I have access to the MLS. I have access to everything. But I think it's, one of you guys said this was, I have to do everything. I have to go look for the deal. Then I have to skip trace it. I have to have the dialer. And I've done all of that, but I've been stuck. And that's how I got to the fix and flip. I got to a signing. And I'm like, this shit is hard. Just doing it by yourself. Sorry. So thank you, Candace, Jesse, Stuart, everyone that's, Chris and everyone that's involved in putting this together. I don't know. I found out about it because I follow Jake and I listened to his calls just like, in the last couple weeks. And he said, hey, I need you to do that. I need you to join this challenge. It's going to be really good for you. Because you have the real estate, but you're just stuck and you're going to have people helping you.
Awesome.
So thank you.
You're very welcome.
Absolutely.
So glad that you're here, unicorn agent. That's really awesome.
I was just going to say that, Candace, make sure everyone, did they hear that? Maritza, unicorn agent, put that in your brain, imprint that in your brain and keep that so you have that later on.
Yeah, and how I got connected was because I did I just joined the Gator lending. But I'm literally just getting my feet wet. So I put that as a secondary because of the knowledge that I had. So I thought this would be fun, and I messaged Jake and he goes, you really need to join this because then you're going to be able to connect all your dots and you could bring so much value and they can help you as well. So
Awesome.
Thank you for putting this together and being so thorough from the beginning. Like, oh my God, it's so mind blowing. I love it. So structured. Thank you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Marissa.
Hey guys, we see a lot of hands up and we're going to get to you, but let's just get through this form first, right? Don't go anywhere. Let's just get through the form first. We'll get to you with your questions. So that way we can kind of make sure we don't lose anybody before they decide okay, I'm not doing this anymore.
Right, let's get through this. It'll
Yeah,
be
go ahead,
You
Candace.
guys can keep your hands up, by the way.
Yeah, keep them up. Don't lose them.
We will definitely
Yeah, keep 'em up.
To go back to you for sure. And I'm glad you were able to connect with Jake because he should be here tonight. He's traveling and he'll be on the other calls though. So I'm glad you were able to make that connection. Okay, accepted offer on property? Do you have a contractor for the project? Do you have a bid in hand? Anybody want to talk to this? Is it self-explanatory? Do we want to share anything? Anybody have minutes?
Again, not a requirement, just a question, especially if your deal's for a fix and flip. It's how much detail have you gone into on this? How confident are you in your number? Are you throwing something at a wall to see what sticks, or do you have something to back it up?
Yeah, not a disqualifier, just need to know where you are as far as your preparation for the project. I am so glad you're here, Jacqueline. So deals, number of deals you have completed, and can you supply HUDs to support those deals? Anybody want to talk about why this is here on the list here?
Yeah, basically, we just want to know, what is your experience? You know, how much help do you need? And the HUDs are the actual settlement sheets, right? The settlement sheets you actually did on a deal. You actually have completed deals that you can show that you've done in the past. And we want to know what experience you have so that we know how much help you need. And if, for instance, you're doing a fix and flip and you don't have any experience, that's okay. Let's get you JV with somebody in the group that does. And that's going to help you understand the process better and make you a better investor from that standpoint. Again, not necessarily something that's going to disqualify you, but we need to be honest. You know, if you have never done one and you say, yeah, I've done 5, well, then can you show us settlement sheets for 5 properties? And if not, then just be honest with yourself and be honest with everybody else.
Just want to hammer down one last time real quick. Not a requirement, guys.
Right.
Well, don't want everybody to be like, oh, I haven't done a deal, I can't submit anything. Not a requirement. Just more information for us.
Yep.
And on the other side, if it's a fix and flip and it's 2.5 million, probably, and you've never done one, I think that's the best way to go. Just saying.
Wholesale it to us. We'll help you out.
There you go. All right. And the last one is exit strategy. How do you plan on holding this property or flipping it? And that's just another question for us, so we understand where it's going. The last one is additional information. We're going to look for links for those to a folder, documents, images, etc. A lot of people, I won't say most, all, it feels like Google Drive, easy to share a link to that folder right there. Just FYI, that's not really hard to do. If we need to walk through how to do Google Drive, how to do links, how to share, etc., we can take part of a Zoom and get into the nitty-gritty on all that as well if we need to. So there you go.
Just want to hammer down on one more thing real quick, guys. That very last one with the additional information, you guys need to show some support of or some sort of documentation supporting that you guys have underwritten this. Because we want this to be fruitful for everybody, and we don't want this to be a thing where we have 100 people submitting deals that not only have not only have they not talked to the agent or anything. For example, they haven't even underwritten the damn thing. So please help us help you guys. We want to make this mutually beneficial, and we really want to help you guys gain some momentum. I really appreciate everybody who's came off mute and expressed their gratitude for this challenge. I think this is going to be a real game changer for a lot of people. Like we were saying in the beginning, wholesaling can be a drag. I totally get it. Been there, done that, man. And so hopefully this is just another tool on your guys' tool belt. But with this form, we're just asking for you guys to do a little bit more due diligence on this so we can help expedite a lot of the back and forth. So there needs to be underwriting, and you guys do need to show some sort of proof saying, hey, I have underwritten it. This is why I submitted it. This is, this makes sense.
To Jesse's point, due diligence, you have to do, we can help you. We can connect you. We can do, help you get across that finish line, but you need to do your part and figure out, what this should look like at the end. Chris just sent a message about, should we add to exit strategy, assigning? And we can do that as well. Is that something you want to talk about?
Yes. So essentially, guys, if you don't want to be more so in it for the long run and you just looking for cash now, I think that's an option that we could provide you if you're looking to do that. And again, we're not trying to, force you to do anything you don't want to do, but we want to provide that option depending on what you're looking for and what you're looking to build in your business.
Okay, I will add that before it goes live. See that? How
Eric
easy it
says, Eric says, I want cash now.
was. Me too.
Was that
All
JG
right.
Wentworth?
Yeah. Before I stop sharing, just so just to make that point one more time, this is our list of all the folks who have signed up to Squad Up, make those connections. We're up to 104 here. Well, maybe 103 with that top line. Anyway, let's if you're, the region, their avatars, don't look for vision. 3 visionaries on a team is not a good idea. I'm just telling you now. But here it is. So you guys all have access and make those connections.
I'd just like to add, try and partner with someone whose avatar is different than yours. Because when you get 2 people with the same avatars together, sometimes it's a little bit harder, but when your avatars are a little bit different, you're likely going to find a little bit of a better connection, in that your traits complement each other.
It's about building a team, right? If you're all quarterbacking, no one's getting anything done. There you go. That's all I have.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Candace. Appreciate it.
Candace, can you share that link one more time for them?
Sure, absolutely.
All right. Well, Candace is sharing that link. Oh, did we miss?
Is it
feel
bunch
like
of questions?
There's only 6 of us here? Where did?
Stu had to change over. to
Oh,
his
did he?
phone.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right. Should we jump into some Q&A real quick, guys?
Yeah.
Awesome. If you guys got any questions, feel free to raise your hand. We'd love to address anything we can right here, right now. Or if you guys just have anything you'd like to add, please feel free to raise your hand and we'll invite you to come off mute. Chris, I just asked you to unmute, brother. I think it was you.
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
What's going on, dude? It's good to see you again.
Good to see you, bro. Oh my God, I've been so busy today. But I mean, I'm a converted wholesaler. I switched religions from wholesaling to buy and hold. That's what they tell me. It builds wealth or whatever. So that's what I've been on. I have learned a bunch of things from like trying to wholesale. One of the big things that I learned, keep your damn pipeline full. Jesus Christ. Like if you have nothing in your pipeline, you're more likely to be desperate. You're more likely to get pushed around when you're negotiating because you're like, oh, this is the only thing I have.
Mhm.
Like if I talk to an agent and they're being ridiculous, well, I could just go to Trello. Oh, I got something else. I got something else. I got something else. Everything's not going to work. But the way I explain to agents is send me everything. I want as many at-bats as possible. Sometimes I'm going to strike out. Sometimes I'm not going to swing. Sometimes I'm going to get a double, a triple, a single. I don't know. Strike out again. It's just all about keeping your pipeline full and being a sponge. That's been the hardest thing for me is keeping my pipeline full. Because I kind of get enamored with everything. So I'll have one thing going and then I'll just kind of be like watching that, hypnotized by that, and I'll leave everything else on. So
I can't tell if we lost him or not. Chris, you there? Must have just lost him. All right. Oh, he went on mute. I don't know if he went on mute himself or not. All right, Luke. What up, dog? Come on down, man.
How you doing, Jesse?
I'm better now that I'm talking to you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good, man. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I jumped on late, but had to get the kids to bed.
Did you go hit the gym today?
Yeah.
That's a no.
I did this morning.
Did you? Good.
Yeah. I might have to do it again now. If you doubt
Leg
me.
day. What's going on, buddy?
So you might have covered this. So in my email, I have a contract for an Airbnb for 3.4 million that hits 15% cash on cash return if you put in a pool. So like with everything like taken into account, like I just budgeted 100K for a pool for this Airbnb, you still get a 15% cash on cash return. Is this something that you guys would buy? Or like,
Chris looked like he was going to answer it.
I didn't want to interrupt you. Go ahead, Luke. You pause for a second. Are you done with your question or?
yeah, is this like too high? You might have answered this. I was in and out.
Yes and no. So essentially, could we potentially move forward on that? Yes. But with this challenge right now for our first seed that we're doing, we just trying to limit it a little bit. If you want to submit that over, you know, Jacqueline and the team can definitely take a look at that and see exactly if there's something we want to potentially move forward with. But again, you know, submit all the documents that you have currently and whatever, you know, receipts. It look like you already did a lot of due diligence to give Candace and Jacqueline and the team some information to look at this, really underwrite this and see exactly what the next steps look like. Out of curiosity, is it cash, creative? What is it?
It would be cash or financing.
He's looking to do it through the DSCR, Chris.
I asked for creative options, or I mean, I asked to tee it up for you guys because that's my goal.
Okay, no worries. So
call agents all day. I give them to you for creative deals.
No, that's great. That's great that you're taking action. Those who don't know Luke, he's very good on the phone, especially communicating with agents on a daily basis. Luke just recently closed on Luke and Angel, actually. Angel's in the side chat to close on the Airbnb. Was it like 3 weeks ago? Almost a month ago? He closed on another Airbnb. So yeah, just submit it over. I can have a conversation with my loan officer and see exactly, you know, what the next steps look like. But it's a great chance. But yes, use the form. I'm not for sure. Make sure you use the form that Candace put in the side chat. You want to throw that in the side chat? Can we pin? I don't know. Can we pin that form?
No, Candace will probably just have to continue, or somebody.
I feel bad. Sorry, Candace.
Sorry. I can't underwrite. I got to do something.
Yeah, hope that answers your question.
I was gonna say, so like I don't have too much interest in holding it, so could I just assign it to you guys?
Absolutely.
Cool. And
yeah,
this,
we could look at it.
15% cash on cash with 15% to property management, and the agent that brought me the deal has a property management company, and he said he would do it if you'd already have one in place.
Amazing. So that appreciate you telling us that. So when having other property managers in place that's been inherited, we like to vet our own at the same time just to make sure, because you know, you could always capitalize on what they're not doing, like transparently. You could probably fire them and get somebody in there that can do a better job. And again, you just never know, right? But yeah, appreciate that information. Good question.
Love you, bro. Thanks, Luke. Yo, Sebastian. Ding, ding, ding.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Hey guys, all good. I had a question. Like in the past, I submitted a deal with you guys, with Chris and Jesse, and I just wanted to know if that's something that actually could work. This was a duplex, but even though the property was, they were marketing it or publishing it on Zillow, and that it was like $1.5 million, but the owner was willing to come down like almost to $1 million. But they wanted cash because the owner was above 80 years old. So is that something that if the discount is a true discount, that it's actually making sense because it's lower to what is the value of it, or close enough? Is it something that you would be willing to go with, by getting loans and anything like that.
Now, are you speaking of based on speculation, or do you receive appraisal on this, on the numbers that
No,
was already
like
given?
right now, I don't even remember. This was like 2 months ago. I'm just
Okay.
making the assumption.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Because I did run. It's not the only one that I run with that the owner was like above 70, 80 years old, that they were like, no, I want cash because I don't know till when I'm gonna leave, so that was just a general question, just assuming that even though it's a really big number, it would be something that it would be adequate to approach.
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially, if the numbers work out and the margins are there and the spread is there, and also you get it on a contract, that's something that we'll definitely take a look at. No offense to Bus about it. If it's really 2 times the value for what he's actually asking, I think that's a home run, in my opinion. But of course, we have to do our due diligence on our end just to ensure that all the numbers match and all that good stuff.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think they just wanted, as it wasn't for a fix and flip or something, and they were very close to what it would be the actual value, then nobody wanted to buy it because they're like, where am I gonna get the value out of it, So like for an investor, it wouldn't make sense. If they wanna fix it up and sell it,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think I vaguely remembered. I know he's all working on it together. Is he ready to move forward right now, or?
I don't know. I'm just asking
Okay.
because that's something that I look, but I'm gonna look
Okay.
it up again tomorrow, and if they're still on that situation, then I'll bring it to you guys and see if we can do something.
Phenomenal. Appreciate it, man. It's good seeing you
Sounds
again.
good. Nice to see you, and thanks for doing this.
Absolutely.
Of course, brother.
Thanks for
Yeah,
being here.
thank you.
Let's see. Shane, what's
There
going on,
he
man?
is.
Wait, is it me or Shane?
I don't know. I think I
It's
hit
you.
Shane.
Chris didn't see me
Oh.
pin.
Oh,
Pin you.
okay.
You're good,
No,
brother.
go ahead.
So
Go ahead, Jakai. My fault.
I don't want to get too ahead of the schedule here, but I'm just curious as to how it works, because I've been looking into debt lenders versus equity lenders, and I'm wondering with the DSCR loan, if we went to purchase a property that needed rehab, do you guys lend on the rehab also, or would you be able to help us find private lenders for that?
To answer your first question, yes.
Okay.
As far as to help you fire like private money lending, again, as Jesse and Stu stated earlier, this is more so of a real estate in the box, so you don't have to go anywhere else besides here.
Solid. Okay. Thank
I
you.
love that. Real estate in a box. Awesome.
We should change the name of the challenge.
Right, we totally missed that. What are you we have a fruit. It's okay.
Shane Evans. Come on, big dog.
I'll try this one again. I got all excited before. How's everybody doing?
Good, man. How you?
Great. So yeah, thanks for putting all this together. I just had a couple questions, Helleman. Before, when I asked about the long-term, short-term, midterm rental stuff, I know that a lot of people are not lending on anything unless it works for long-term rents. Is there any restrictions within our numbers to make sure that 15% cash on cash is working? I just wanted to hear a little bit about that.
Jacqueline, you want to take that one? She's the expert. I follow her lead.
I missed part of it because I had a chatty over here.
I was wondering about the midterm, short-term, and long-term rents. Are we basing our numbers on one of those specifically, even if the short-term rents are our go-to model? Are we still needing to require it to meet any criteria for long-term rents for the 15% cash on cash?
So the 15% cash on cash is going to be based on the exit strategy. From a lender perspective, though, Chris and Jesse, that's a good question for us to ask Mark on what he wants to see. And that's probably something that we can include that answer on our form, because I know that the lender is going to have one requirement and then we have another requirement.
Yep,
So
that's
thank you
exactly.
for that question.
So
Perfect.
although we're doing DSCR loans, we're doing STR loans as well. So it may fit that buy box, but I think you're 100% right. We should definitely check with Mark just to verify that. I just wrote a note so we can ensure we get that question answered for you.
Chris and Jacqueline, is it safe to say though, for Shane's purposes, if we just go with the long term, right? If you base everything off of an LTR, then everything else is going to work until we get more specific answers for you, right? I mean, that's
Absolutely.
pretty much, that's a safe way to say it, Shane. So your thinking is correct, right? Go long term, base something off of long term. If it works, then everything else is going to be gravy, right? That's just icing, and that's Jimmy's and everything else, every other topping you want on top of your sundae. And then we can get that answer to you a little bit more specifically.
My only concern with that is that's going to disqualify a lot of deals right now based on our interest rate.
True. Yeah, I agree.
But yes, that is a great approach. And then if it's anywhere in the ballpark, or if there's a possibility, let's definitely take a second look. But in the meantime, we'll get that answer, and then that will help with a lot of those questions.
Yeah, maybe having a different return for each different model. That way it's kind of safe and, you know, require us to have 20% or 30% for different things, just to make sure the numbers work on your end.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's very proactive. It's a great way of looking at it. Yep.
Cool. Thank you.
You bet. Great question, bro.
Allison, stop yawning. You're making me tired. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
What's going on, Mark?
Hey, y'all. Thank you for y'all's time and putting this together. A couple of really quick questions, but first I need to thank Jacqueline Brown for her patience with me over the last couple of weeks. I submitted a couple of deals through the Creative Partners or the Jake's website. I can't remember the domain now. She asked me a bunch of questions and I was just like, I don't know. And she was just really patient and really nice to me. So thank you, Jacqueline. I do appreciate that. I do know to bring more to the table because of that. So I appreciate it. A couple of things. One or question. So if there's like a really good deal on a HUD house, how could we make something like that happen? And two, I'm trying to understand the financials for all of this, because y'all are like putting all of this time and effort and investing money and all of this and that to put all of this together. How do the cuts break up profits for like a fix and flip or stuff like that? I'm just kind of curious to know that as well.
So can you elaborate just a little bit? Are you looking for if you were to partner with us or?
Well, so if I submit a deal,
okay,
and I do have a deal in Birmingham that I'm about to get under contract for a flip that I'd like to do a flip myself. And I'm looking at about a $90,000 spread on it. And I submitted through you guys for the funding and, you know, credit and all this and that. How do y'all get paid? And just kind of curious on that, because I mean, y'all seem like really nice, good people, but I'm, you know, I know everybody's here to profit. And so I'm kind of curious, like, is there a percentage? I'm just curious on how that works. Maybe
yeah,
I'm missing
absolutely.
something.
No, that's a good question, more so. Jesse, you want to take that one away?
Yeah, I think that's an amazing question. And Mark, you're not going to like my answer. Because I hate it. And it's not because it's a bad answer. It's just, I hate it when people, when I'm asking a question because I want clarity and then people respond this way, I freaking hate it. And so I hate to be the one to say this to you, but each deal, especially going through this challenge, is going to have, because this is kind of a nationwide thing. Actually, I need to address that. Let me write this down so I don't forget it and I'll come back to it. So this is more or less kind of a nationwide thing. So each market is obviously going to be very unique. And so to answer your question, it depends is the short answer without me dragging it on. But each deal is gonna kind of depend.
Jesse, can I take a stab at this as well?
Oh, please, please, yeah.
I think, Mark, it also depends on how much help you need and what you're looking for from us, right? Is another way of looking at it. If you need a lot of assistance from, let's say, EMD to credit to a hard money loan for fix and flip, well, then we're all going to get paid in that area with it. If we decide to partner on it with you and become, if that's an opportunity for all of us because you need that and it makes sense, then it's kind of a different answer. So I think it depends, but I think with a little more clarity, it depends based on what your need is from us as your resources. And maybe that could give you just a little more clarity of what you're looking for.
Yeah, it definitely does. For this Birmingham deal, say like what I need is like all of the above. Because one, I'm not in Birmingham, I'm in Farmington, New Mexico. Two, even though I'm in the midst of 2 flips right now, I really don't have a lot of experience. I'm kind of learning as I go and running into walls and hardwood and all kinds of nonsense. I have no idea what kind of decision is a good decision. So pretty much everything is like what I need, and I don't mind giving up the money for it because I'm going to learn, and that's what I want. The other question I had, and so thank you for that, I appreciate it.
Sure.
The other question I have is like on HUD deals. Is there a way to make that work? Because I know HUD could be really complicated. But there's a couple of HUD deals out in my area right now that look pretty strong. I just have no clue on how to move forward on something like that. And I'll just go ahead and mute myself out and thank you all for your time.
Yeah, take your breath and then you have until I'm done with my.
No, you're good, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you.
So I'll take this one. And again, I think the HUD deals they're a different beast, right? They're a different animal. We can all agree about that.
Yeah.
I think that might be more of a separate conversation at a later date so that we don't get people, one, confused into a very specific kind of area that could maybe be a little overwhelming for people. So Mark, if we want to, maybe as a group, collectively talk offline, and this might be, again, this could be another idea for a challenge down the road, right? When we come back and do this again. Does anybody else have anything to add to that?
No, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I think it's a great question, but I don't think we would tackle it tonight or with this group right now.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for your question, bro. Great question. Real quick, the thing that I wrote down that I forgot. So the only thing, well, there's 2 things, I guess, that we have not answered yet. One is going to be the length of this challenge. So this particular challenge, like I said, similar to just like the elephant challenge, it's going to have like different themes for each. We're going to have a seed 2 and then a seed 3 and a seed 4. I love that. I don't know who came up with that, but the elephant or the watermelon challenge seed 1.
That was Chris. That was all Chris.
Chris, I love that, dude. So for seed 1, it's going to run 6 weeks. Chris, when does it end?
July 24th.
July 24th. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So between now and July 24th, that's when that's the length of this particular challenge. And then one other thing I wanted to address is we can, it's close to nationwide, but it's going to be 46 states. I think there's 4 states that we're not going to be able to do it. So it's going to be Hawaii, nothing in Hawaii, Wyoming, North Dakota, and Alaska, sort of. Alaska is going to be like a case-by-case basis, but the case-by-case basis for Alaska is going to be, it's got to be in Anchorage. So nothing outside of Anchorage, and even in Anchorage is going to be a case-by-case. So those are kind of the 4 states. Everywhere else, we can it's game on, guys. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Real quick, just for the mathematicians out there, July 24th is actually 7 weeks, just so we're clear. We're going to skip the week of 4th of July just because it's going to be difficult for everyone to get on a Zoom to make sure that you guys don't feel like you're missing out. And we don't want to take time away from family from this, from this challenge during that holiday. So it is technically 7 weeks, but Chris and Jess, you're not wrong. It's 6 weeks of active during that time frame. Gang, I had to leave for a little bit. Did we talk about within that 6 weeks how many deals we're doing and then our soft close and then open again yet, or no?
No, go for it, brother.
Okay, so 6 weeks long, ending July 24th is the last day that we'll take submissions. Now, it doesn't mean you can't submit during the week of 4th of July, by the way. It just means we're not going to have a Zoom to answer questions and kind of be together. Everybody got that part of it? So don't say, oh, what do you mean? I got to take a week off and not, no, just submit the forms and we'll get to it. Now, we're gonna lock this up. We're going to have a soft close, I should say, at 20 deals. And what that means is this. We get 20 deals, 20 submitted deals that are actually solid deals that we're going to help people on. We're going to open it back up if there's time left in that 6-week period. So we could potentially do another 20 after that if it's feasible. Okay. But what we found is just because, again, a lot of people talked about, hey, we're accessible. We want to be available for people. This is great. You guys are taking your time and doing this. Because of that, we have other businesses that we're running. And so we want to make sure that we devote the time that we need to this and to other businesses, and obviously, most importantly, our families. And so we kind of do a soft close at 20 deals. Then we'll kind of reopen it back up again for another 20 deals. This is why we're not doing this a one-time challenge, right? It's something we're going to run on a regular basis. How frequent? To be determined. We want to see how this one goes, see what the feedback is, both positive and negative, constructive, right? Not you suck. Tell us you sucks too and why, and we'll fix it. If
Just like
it's
that.
if it's because of this right here, I can't fix this. You know, it is what it is. Just, you know, tell me not to put my face on the screen next time. But, you know, we want to make sure that we kind of make this a little more boutique and a little more intimate. Now, that doesn't mean we want to keep it at 80 some people in the challenge right now. We want to grow this thing as much as we can, but we also need to have a jumping off point.
Absolutely.
And so we're trying to keep it, you know, low key so that we can give everyone the best value that we possibly can. Also realizing, again, we are giving you a lot of resources and we're taking a page out of Pace's book. We're giving you a lot. So don't be a-holes about it, to be quite honest with you. I'm not going to be as nice as Pace is when he's on Zooms in terms of my voice and how I tell things. Listen, we're going to make mistakes. I guarantee it. But we're all going to learn from it, and we're going to get better because of it. So just be patient and know that if you're the 21st deal, it doesn't mean you're screwed. It just means we're going to put you on pause. Now, if you need to get something, you know, put in for a deal, we can certainly help you with other people if we're going to put that soft close on there, right? We can't say soft close at 20 and then we get 2 people that say, but I have a great deal. And now we're doing a soft close at 22 again. We got to put a cap somewhere so that we can make sure that we're doing the best we can. Again, after that area, sorry, Candace, after that time is over, it doesn't mean we're not going to reopen it again. Go ahead, Candace.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
To clarify, it's not deal submissions, but deals.
Correct. So and that's the key, right? Submit. Because again, I'm not very good with hiding my emotions. Most of these are going to be garbage, to be quite honest with you, and that's okay. We want you to just go out there and practice and do it. So we got to sift through that stuff. We want to make sure that we have to get good deals, and so that probably means we're to get 80% of not good deals. But if you don't know what a good deal is, don't be afraid to just still do one, right? Just submit it, because that's the whole point of this challenge. Take action and have some accountability and use your resources around you. Right? Absolutely. Don't let the people that already do it keep doing it. We're here to help you do more. If you're already doing deals, great. Do more deals. If you've not done one, great. Do one. Does that make sense, everybody? Give it to me in the chat here. I'll do a little pace here. Show me the love in the chats. Fail forward. Love it. Yep. Perfect.
Amazing.
Awesome,
okay.
Guys.
Candace?
Yeah, go for it.
Can I do I put the link in the chat?
So yeah, put the link in the chat, and then if we can answer, I think Luke had his hand up, Carl and Chris had their hands up. Let's get to those gentlemen if we can.
So those are the last 3, just to let you guys know.
Yeah, and we're done.
All right, Carl, come on down, dude.
He's just marinating for a little bit.
Thanks for your patience, bro.
There you
Good
go.
evening. Two questions. One is the underwriting. You guys will train us on how to do that?
Yes.
Yes, there's gonna be upcoming Zooms that Jacqueline will go in very detail what that looks like specifically.
Okay, the other question is, a lot of the deals around here, we're in Massachusetts and Berkshire County.
Oh,
A
thank
lot
goodness. I
of
thought you
the
were going to say
stuff that's-
Ohio.
Huh?
Nothing. I was just joking.
A lot of the stuff around here, ARV 220,000 or 320,000. But when you do the 0.65 and then the repairs, it's under that $200,000. Would that still be considered a deal or?
So fix and flip is going to be a little bit different than just buying a property that's, I wouldn't say turnkey, but we can just go take out a DSCR loan on that will qualify.
Okay.
So if you're wanting to fix and flip, that's going to be a little bit different. So I would really, I'm not going to say we're going to disqualify, but actually like fix and flip specifically is going to be like season 2 or seed 2, I guess you could say. So so that's going to be kind of the next season is we're going to fully focus on fix and flip. So I'm not going to say we're going to turn like fix and flips away right now, but this seed 1 is specifically tailored for taking out DSCR loans for buy and holds for people who are really trying to get away from the wholesaling and just and the creative finance, not to get away from them, just to bring something else to the table to where we're not turning deals away when the numbers make sense.
Yeah, that
Forever money.
Because my partner does, because I work 13 hours a day, my partner does it all by herself. So this is going to be great. But thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, thank you, man. Thank you. I think this challenge is going to be awesome, man. It's going to allow a lot of people to gain a lot of momentum in their business, hopefully leave their W-2 if that's what a lot of people are trying to do. So we're very excited about it. And yeah, thank you guys for being here. Chris, what up, dog?
What's up, bro? I got 2 more questions. So this is kind of like down the line from here, but let's say like someone in the group submits a deal, or they submit something, it's actually a deal, it closes. How quickly should a beginner go from first deal to second deal? I mean, I know you like, is it best to basically get as many deals as possible, or do you want to like get one asset, stabilize it, get a tenant in there, do your exit strategy, then grab another one, then get a tenant in there, do your exit strategy, grab another one? Or is it just literally just get as many as you can? Let's say you got like 15 things in Trello and they're all deals. Does it make sense to go after all 15?
I'm gonna let somebody else kind of answer this, but I'll preface with going back to Stu's point a little bit earlier. It's all gonna kind of depend, and it's gonna depend on what is your experience? Are we partnering on it? Are we not partnering on it? How much of our resources and our network are you leveraging in order to get this deal across the line? I think that's ultimately what it's going to come down to. So I guess it's going to be deal specific and it's going to depend.
Okay.
So, hey, Chris, good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, brother.
It's good to see a face and a name together. I love it. I hope you're not disappointed that you got to see my face now. I'm not, but you might be disappointed. So, yeah, I think to Jesse's point, and this is a great point for everybody, where are you in your real estate investment business? And to Jesse's point, who are you leveraging, right? Are you trying to do this on your own still? Or do you want to, buy doors with other people to help increase your number of doors, number one? 2, mitigate risk, right? It's all about leveraging risk as well. When Jesse asked my team to join this challenge, I was ecstatic, elated, confused, and everything else under the sun. But think about this. I can get a lot more doors with more people, and I can have a small piece of that pie versus 100% of nothing, right? Or a watermelon, if you will, right? I have a piece of that watermelon versus a whole grape. And so for me, it really depends on what is your goal. The whole point of this challenge is to share the watermelon, right? And so you can have one grape and just do one deal at a time, get it stabilized and move on, which is a way.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's wrong or right.
Yeah.
But if you want to expedite that a little bit faster, leverage the team around you and get multiple doors at the same time and say, you know what, this is a little too much for me to take on by myself, but I can have other people help me with it.
Okay, perfect.
Anybody else want to add to that? Hold on, I'm sorry, Chris. Anybody else want to add to that, or am I off my rocker?
No, you hit the nail on the
Well
head, bro.
said.
All right, go ahead, Chris.
And then I had another question. It's kind of like a thing that's kind of been creeping up lately. How do people in here handle kind of like the fear of success? So I'm sure everyone in here wants to succeed and get a deal. What happens when you get one and you're actually like, I guess, excuse my French, but like you're in the shit, like you're making money, you got this stuff going on, you got a tenant here, you got contractors here, you got a property manager, like it's like, oh, everything actually like worked. Like, all right, well, how do you not like, I don't know. How do you not like freak out at that point?
Is there a question or a concern? I mean, listen, it's going to happen, right? If you're afraid to succeed, then you're not going to succeed. But that's when you go back and leverage your team resources. Hey, Jesse, who's done this forever, Chris, who's done this forever. How do you guys handle that? Let's get 2 deals first, Chris, right? Let's get under 1 or 2 deals first, and then we start worrying about the other stuff. And I'll give you an example. My team and I, we just had this conversation. You know, we have a lot of things going on right now. And we were talking about, okay, we need to start thinking about a CFO. We need to start thinking about more bookkeeping. We need to start thinking about this. But guess what? We have to start thinking about it. We're not there yet.
Okay.
Right? So let's just get 1 or 2 deals under your belt and then start thinking about what you need now to start scaling and moving forward. But that's also where you can use this team. Hey guys, I'm working with you. We're JVing on a couple of deals together. Let's take the next step. What are we going to do after this? How can we, how do I need to move forward to, stabilize myself and get to the next level?
Okay. Yeah, I think a lot of times I get too ahead of myself. I'm a visionary, so I'm already thinking about like when I have kids and the money I'm going to leave for them and all that fun stuff. But, 1 step at a time, that's been the big thing for me. 2023. So
this has helped me, and I don't know if this helped anybody else, but think about each deal as a bill. Right?
Okay.
Your job is to get enough deals to pay each bill. So if I'm cash flowing $250 a month on one property, that's going to be my cell phone, right? That's my cell phone bill. Next one's going to be my car insurance. Next one's going to be my note. After that, I need 2 or 3 to take care of my mortgage, my primary mortgage. If you think about it in small chunks like that, that may help you digest it so that you're not trying to think about your kid. Are you married?
No.
Do you have kids?
Why is he all laughing?
Hold on. Do you have kids?
No, I don't have any kids.
What the hell are you talking about then, dude? Dude, you don't even have kids yet. What are you worried about leaving your kids? You got to find somebody to have kids with. Just pay pay your cell phone bill. Worry about paying your cell phone bill with the property, right? And worry about that for now. Don't worry about the other stuff. Deal?
All right. Deal.
All right, you're my man.
I got you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm worried about paying money for my kids. My man. You're a good looking guy. You're not gonna have a problem finding somebody to have a kid with. Just don't worry about that yet.
Love it, guys. Well, thanks for everybody who jumped in here. I know it's what time is it? It's 9:30 Eastern time.
Yeah.
So I know we're kind of rolling into the evening for everybody, but I really appreciate the team here. Thank you guys for being here and for doing this with us and together. And this is just so much fun. And then thank you everybody who tuned in and joined and stayed with us. I know we kind of probably ran a little bit longer than you guys were expecting. I think we're almost right on the dot on 2 hours now. So thank you guys very much. Really appreciate it. I know it's during the week. You guys could be doing other things. So it really means the world to us that you guys took some time to stick around and hopefully you guys got some value from this. I'm looking forward to working together moving forward. Team, do you guys got anything?
I do. Let's tell them when the next Zoom is.
Tell them what?
The next Zoom.
When's the next Zoom?
Yeah. Come on,
Probably worth
Jesse.
mentioning, huh? So
Probably.
like Stu said, with the exception of 4th of July weekend, Zooms are going to be every single Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So we're going to try to keep them to an hour, but they're going to run from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern time every single Tuesday up until July 24th, with the exception of 4th of July weekend. So make sure you guys put that in your calendar. If you guys are not part of the Watermelon Challenge Facebook group, please go get in there. This is going to be super dope. I'm really excited for this. Thank you, Candace, for the reminder. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, because I didn't know what it was.
Hey, by the way, gang, we have 223 members of our Facebook group, and that's happened within what, 3 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So kudos to everyone in here, our team of putting it out there. And for those that joined early, thank you for joining early and spreading the word to get people motivated and get in here. Again, let's just keep this thing going.
To answer your question, Luke, no, next Tuesday, not tomorrow, Tuesday.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Next Tuesday, we'll be kicking more things off. So if you guys have anything between now and then, let's go. Let's go. And then next Tuesday, each week, we're going to have something new that we're going to showcase and teach you guys how to do. Rosillo's like, I'm going to have to quit my job just to be here. That's good. Actually, Jake, this is, does anybody, I don't want to, I'm going to leave this for Jake's team to tell. You guys tell.
So
I'll have Jake tell it.
So our team is Creative Credit Partner. We're at creativecreditpartner.com, by the way. And he came up to us and said, hey, I'm doing all this by myself. I need to put a team together. And so Angela, who's here, and Jacqueline and I and Morgan and Sonia, we all showed up for a Zoom call, and we all decided to be partners. And also this has all come together in the last few months as well. But Jake does the call on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for Pays for Gator. So you guys are probably familiar with him with that. And Jake, to put bluntly, quit his job. Jake gave up his W-2. He said, this is amazing. This is working. I need to devote all my time toward this. And his lovely, amazing wife allowed him to quit his job. So we are forever grateful to her. But yeah, it's the six of us working together. And so that's where you might have heard from us at different points, but we're happy to be here. This was an amazing idea. I was not on that first call when everybody got together, but Chris, Jesse, you have no idea the excitement that was going on with our team right after that call. I'm in Tempe. I'm at Cody Sperber's event, and all I get is, oh my God. I'm like, what is going on? And I couldn't find out. They were just all so excited. And so then the news came out, and it was amazing. So we're just really thrilled to be here, to be doing this, to be working with you guys, to be bringing this challenge together with Stu and Danielle and Haleman. And we are just we're just all in and super excited to be helping everybody and giving back. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm just going to leave everybody with this. This is a free challenge. It literally costs you nothing to get in here and to start buying properties. I mean, you could do your first deal, you could do 5 deals, you could do 10 deals within just the next 6 weeks, guys, depending on how much intention and effort you're going to put forth into acknowledging, or not acknowledging, but just focusing on what your avatar is, leveraging the community, leveraging us, leveraging our resources, our network, our money. We want to do deals with you guys. So this doesn't cost anything. However, if you got value out of this, the only thing that we ask is that you share it, tell somebody about it, take a screenshot of it. I'm going to post this on YouTube, so you guys have a copy of the recording. You can come back here and reference it if you guys need. Yeah, and I'll share the YouTube link in the Facebook group as well. But please, if you guys got value out of this, please, that's the only thing that we ask, is that you share it with somebody. Team, anything else to add before we drop off?
Just a reminder, guys, moving forward is Tuesdays, not Mondays. Tuesdays.
All right.
Just want to throw that out there.
Thanks, Chris.
Chris and Jesse, thank you so much, gentlemen. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys as well. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you all.
Have a good night. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.